everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share with you a popular stamp set from the Occasions 2017 catalog called High Tide, and we're pairing it up with the watercolor wash stamp set. And you're going to create a beautiful card, and it's just one layer. You can see how thin it is. It's going to be perfect for popping in the mail to someone that needs to know that you care, and I'm sure you can think of a few people that might be in that boat. And so let's go ahead and get started, and I'll teach you how to create this card. We are going to do all of our stamping first, and so the two panels that we're going to use are Whisper White panels. Both of them are cut the same, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. One of these will be the inside panel and one will be the outside panel. So to start with, we're going to do the inside panel because that is going to be super easy. So let me just bring a piece of scrap paper in here, and we are going to ink up with Dapper Denim our birds that we have sailing across the sky here. And so that is going to be our inside panel. That's also something that would be nice to stamp on your envelope if you choose. Now we're going to be putting this into a real red card. The card base is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've gone ahead and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And so we can just go ahead and we'll fold this on the score line, give that a nice press, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take this inside panel, which already has the snail on it. We'll center it in so that we have nice even borders, give it a press, and our inside panel is done. So then let's go on and stamp on this other Whisper White panel here. Just as a reminder, this is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, and we are going to stamp our watercolor wash background first. So this is Soft Sky, and I'm just going to take the Soft Sky ink pad and we'll just ink that up. Don't worry too much about having it be perfect, because I don't know many stampers that are perfect, so we just need to embrace imperfection. That took a long time for me to learn, let me tell you. So then I'm just going to go ahead and push this white panel on with my scrap paper, and then I can just go ahead and lift it away, and we have our lovely sky. So I am going to go ahead now and we'll do some additional stamping on this. So the first thing I think we'll do is we'll stamp our sand area. So we are going to ink up the sand, and this is where our lighthouse is going to be put. So I'm going to ink that up in soft suede, and we will need a photopolymer mat here. I should have used that before when I was stamping the birds, but I forgot. You always get a little bit better image with your photopolymer stamps if you're using one of our Stampin' mats just for the cushion aspect of it. So now what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sure that this lighthouse area is going straight up and down. So we'll go ahead and stamp this because we want our lighthouse to be straight up and down. So there we go, we've got that stamped in, and of course this will lighten up as it dries. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to ink up the inside portion of our lighthouse with soft suede, and I just want to show you something that happened to me when I was practicing this card. It's very easy when you're inking up that inside portion of the lighthouse to want to follow a line and make it straight up and down. We often do that, but in this case we need to be paying attention to the center line, not the side line, because if you notice my lighthouse is crooked, and that's because I was lining the side of the lighthouse up with the side of the card. Well, that actually does not work. Unless you're trying to kind of recreate the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you want to make sure that the center of your lighthouse is lined up with the outside of your card. So we will attempt to do that with this particular stamp. So what I'm doing again is I'm not looking at this outside line, I'm looking at the center line, and I'm trying to make sure that that is lined up with the edges of our card. Make sure it's all going the same direction. And I think I did a good job on this one. So that's what it looks like. Then we're going to go ahead and over stamp that with some red. So I have the outside portion of the lighthouse, and I have my real red. Just going to ink that up. And then again, we're just going to layer that over the top and just press that in. And we have our lighthouse. Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can just see how gorgeous this is. Now we're going to go ahead and we'll put our birds on. So I'm going to, again, stamp those in Dapper Denim. And they're just going to be floating off here to the left. Give that a good press. Beautiful. And now we need our sentiment. And so I love this sentiment. There's actually quite a few really nice sentiments in this stamp set, but this particular sentiment is really, really nice. It says, "In high tide or low tide, I'll be by your side." I love that. There we go. Our card is essentially done. So now what we need to do is put our layers on. So this layer is going to be layered onto a 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel of soft suede, and that's actually going to be layered on top of our card base. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can use multi-purpose liquid glue as I am doing here, or you could also use snail. Either one works great. So we're just going to set this in here, make sure our borders are nice and even. Then I will use snail for my Whisper White panel, again, in an effort to avoid those glue lines, which can tend to show up after a while on Whisper White. So we're just going to, again, put this in so that all of our edges are nice and even. And there we have our card. Now, just to add a little sparkle, you can see that I've added a couple of sequins. So I have the sequin trim here. I hardly ever use the trim. I mean, it looks really cute, especially on 3D, so you could dangle it off or staple it on. But what I like to do is I like to take it and put the individual sequins onto mini glue dots. Then I can just take my paper piercing tool and just set these wherever I want them on my card. So I have 3 of them here, and we're just going to set those kind of randomly, but sort of around our heavier images here. And the card is complete. So here's the card that I just created for you. Here's the card I had done in advance. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share today. I truly appreciate you. And it is celebration time, and you can see all the details about that on my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com. And remember, for any $50 order that you place during celebration, you can earn a celebration rewards item. Have a great day. Bye-bye.